Cheers, bienvenidos. And Andy has left the room.
He's had it.
The episode start, Andy's like, I'm done with you guys.
I already won. Like, I got this in the bag. I don't even know why I'm here.
Andy's like, I don't need to show up for this stuff. My points speak for themselves, ladies and gentlemen. And just in case you're wondering, none of us have any idea what the points are for each team right now. So we're going to be finding out live along with you. So, sorry, Tori, go ahead.
Very good idea. I will have you know.
The Beagles know what's up.
Well, why don't we start? Madison would have us start by going around and talking about our final week of the readathon, because it's weird because it goes so quickly, and also it feels like we got so much packed into each week of this last month. So AR Witham, why don't you start with how's your team's last week of the readathon gone?
Well, I got to start off by saying that my last book of the readathon was exceptional. It was called Bloodstones by, let's see if I can look up the name. Tori, Victoria. Oh, Tekken. Yeah, right.
I hear it's mid.
Well, I think we actually talked about it last week because I was surprised at what I thought the book was going to be is very different when the book actually was. And that was one of those occasions where it worked out great because what it was more captivating than what I had been imagining it to be. And so I got to go on this ride that I wasn't expecting to have, which is always fantastic. And great conclusion, great narration by the indomitable Andrew D. Meredith, and just fantastic prose and fantastic characters. So I like I said, this is the only time I've had 5-star reads during the course of a readathon. I am exhausted. My team did phenomenal. We'll go through it when we get to the points, but I cannot believe how tough my teammates were, because they were just like, I am gonna finish, and they were delivering books up until the last day. I think we had 3 or 4 books delivered on the final day. So it's incredible, and everybody just kind of like set a goal for themselves, and like for the most part they hit their goals. So I'm amazed and impressed, and like with the Ringers, they read far more than I ever could.
Yeah, I mean the Ringers might actually like add up to the same number as everybody else when we put all the numbers together.
We may have to do a Ringers versus everybody event at some point.
We would lose. Let's be honest.
We would lose.
We would need like 200 readers to match 10 Ringers.
It's true. All right, Rob, how has the Bookish Beagle Brethren group done this week?
I mean, we had a few people throw in some books right under the line, so that was quite good. But the Beagles have finished much how we started, lazily, with lots of tummy strokes, lying in the sun, chilling out mostly, Beagle things.
But did you have fun is the real question.
We had a lot of fun. The chat's been quite good. There's been a lot of sort of like banter back and forth, and people throwing book recommendations. There's been quite a few Beagle picks as well, funnily enough. But yeah, no, it's been a really good time, to be honest, and it's good to see that the people that did take part have finished.
Nope. Are we losing Rob?
Long pause.
Oh dear.
Nope. We got you back now. Yep.
In the back.
I thought it was me for a second.
It's me. Anyway, I don't know when I got cut off there, but yeah, the Beagles, we did all right. We had fun. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
Snacks and fun.
How else should you read other than with snacks and fun? Maybe a cozy blanket, know?
Exactly.
All right, Shauna, how was Team Flawless for your last week here?
I think we did really well. I see Melissa's here, and I think she read the most books on our team. She read, I think, 20. So we had some very good readers as well. I feel bad because I only got 3 books read, and so I feel like my team was amazing, and I didn't quite get to the 5 books. But in my defense, one of them was Rob's, and I think that is the equivalent of probably about 3 books.
There you go. We'll just blame Rob.
Yeah.
It's a chunky book. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But it was amazing. I'm obsessed with this series now. So I'm going straight on to the other 2 first books in the 2 concurrent trilogies. Yeah, because Rob was insane and decided to write 3 trilogies at the same time.
Like a
Yeah.
Insanely
Yeah.
right.
So we all had a good time, and I think, as you say, that's the most important thing. There was lots of chat, lots of such different books were read as well, which is always good to see. Lots of different subgenres, and that's always fun to see. Yeah.
Awesome. Mr. Peliquin, how were the Tome Slayers this week?
Boy, did we slay those tomes. Come on, Dad. Yeah, that's what's up. It was so much fun. I managed to get 11 books read this month. Only 9 of them qualified because 2 were novellas, but I was outread by at least half of my team. These are just mad people who read so much. I was a little jealous, a lot blown away.
Yeah.
I didn't know we could get this many points. Like they outdid all my expectations. So it was amazing watching them be like, oh yeah, I'm done with book 12, done with book 25. Madness. I loved it.
Yeah, it's been a wild week for everybody. All right, so my only other question for you guys before we get to the points, because we do have to drag this out a little bit, we have to make Madison proud, is that I have to know, for the captains, which was your favorite book that you read during the readathon? Mr. Peliquin, why don't we start with you?
So I'm going to say the one that was the most unique reading experience was The Spear Cuts Through Water. It didn't work so well for me right away, but the writing style was so unique that I was drawn in. But I think the one that made me feel most strongly, and Shauna's DMs can attest to this, was Children of God and Gods and Fighting Men. I mean, the Queen is still terrifying to me. Like Cersei who after reading.
Yeah.
That was by far the most emotional reaction I got from any book I read this month.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not a captain, but I would say that was my top pick for the readathon as well, was Children of Gods and Fighting Men. It was so good. It was so good.
Oh, thanks. See, whenever my husband read the second book, it's the only time he put it down and looked at me and was like, what? What did you just write? And I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. Gormla makes me do it. She tells me these terrible things and I have to put them down.
When you can scare your spouse, that is a high standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about for you, Shauna?
Well, for me, it was 100% Rob's book, because I love epic fantasy so much, but I've definitely bounced off a few series, should I say, or read some series, and these are older series that are kind of classics, maybe, and modern ones, and I just haven't loved them as much as when I was younger, and I thought maybe it was a me thing, just I'm older, and so maybe epic fantasy, I can't expect that kind of wow that I got, when I was 12 and reading Lord of the Rings for the first time. I loved Rob's series, and what I'm going to say, it's like a long book, but it's so pacey at the same time. Like, I was constantly wanting to read the next chapter. The characters were brilliant. I love Rhaenyra. And I was just gripped the whole time. And I feel that for anyone here who loves Ryan Cahill's series, you need to read this series.
Right,
it's a really, really good new epic. Getting some
Excuse
kill
me,
dance
I have a redhead.
Hey now.
So I can't compete with those dance moves.
That's the next readathon is the captain's dance off. That's what we need to add in.
I like it.
Eagles are losing that one as well.
How about for you, Rob?
So I picked two because I split my books between listening and reading. So I'll pick two. For reading, I think it would have to be Legend by David Gemmell. It's only the second Gemmell book I've ever read. And Mihir Wanchu's been begging me to read David Gemmell for years. And I can finally see why. It's clear to see like how it became so well loved and how it's such a classic. It's just like, I mean, it's far from a perfect book, but every time I was picking up and reading it, I was just like, oh my God, I've now got new ideas for stories to write. Every chapter was just like, this is like
wild how many stories he has spawned.
Yeah, just triggering that sort of like inspiration part of my brain that's just like, oh my God, okay, I want to write this, I want to write so there's that. And then for listening, it would have to be Dungeon Crawler Carl. I think I entered the second one for the read one. I'm currently almost at the end of the fourth one. I am just racing through them because they are addictive.
Yep.
They are just wild and insane, and the narrator Jeff Hayes just does an absolutely amazing job bringing the characters to life. So I'm loving my time with Dungeon Crawler Carl. So those are my two picks for paper and listening, earhole listening, reading.
Awesome.
Words.
All right, Andy W.
Well, it's a little tricky since I'm looking at 4 of the authors that I read this.
Yeah, I realized after I asked the question, I was like, I put Witham in a really tough spot here, didn't I?
So my answer,
he just has to pick the other book. It's fine.
That's right.
Yeah, pick
my,
the only one.
My
yeah,
answer is Guy Gavriel K.
Yeah.
Lions of Al Rasan wins every time.
Every time, it doesn't matter. And I knew I loved Rob before I started. I knew I was going to love Mortal Techniques. Shauna's was more lush and beautiful and weirdly grounded than I was expecting at all. I had read Darkblade. I was expecting Protector to be more of the same, and it was so much more. And Tori blew me away with an epic saga when I wasn't expecting an epic saga with characters that I just dove right into. All that to say, Guy Gavriel K is amazing.
I don't know that any of us would be offended by losing to Guy Gavriel K.
It's impossible to be offended. I have never. Okay, so you can hate me. I'm a big Name of the Wind guy. I really love Patrick Rothfuss. I really love that prose. It speaks to me deeply. I love it. This is the first book that I have finished in a long time. That I finished Tori's book on the plane. We landed in Mexico. I got to sleep. I woke up the next day and I started rereading Lions of Al Rasan because I needed to figure out how he did what he just did. Because he bent me in so many different shapes. He had 5 endings, all of which worked. He could have ended that book at chapter 16 and it would have been fine. Chapter 17, fine. Chapter 18, fine. So that was a master class in artistry, and I was glad I got to be a part of it. I can't understand. It's one of those books where it's like, how did this one escape me for so long? And one of the reasons I'm glad for a readathon like this, where it's like, okay, start digging in, figure out what you're going to read, and just diamonds all across the board. And then that one just sitting at the pinnacle of the crown.
That's so interesting. I've read some of his books, but I've never read that one. So I'm gonna have to find it now based on your recommendation. Oh, yeah. I love his other. I love his other books that I have read, and I've read quite a few. But just somehow that one has eluded me.
It's difficult not to recommend because he's just a poet from the ground up. And so if you're a fantasy fan, if you're not a fantasy fan, it doesn't really matter. Because the book is barely fantasy, right? There's hardly any magic in it at all.
It's fiction.
Yeah, he does a lot of what Shauna does. Is I'm going to take a world and then I'm going to kind of bend it a little bit. I'm going to make it my own, and it's so beautiful and so lush that you could recommend it to anybody, and you'd have an 80% chance of them liking it.
Nice. Yeah, that's one of my priority reads for 2025. I'm very much looking forward to it. And I haven't read any Guy Gavriel K yet, so I'm looking forward to it.
So good.
Oh,
I'm right there with you, so I've just added it to my wish list.
Nice. Buddy read.
And are impossibly high because all of his other books are ranging from good to amazing. But Lions is one of these books that is just like it's peerless in so many ways.
Yeah. I've heard so many people say that.
It's impossible to imagine it being improved upon.
Yeah. Well, I was sent a list of scores from last week from Madison. So I gather that I am to remind everyone where we were at the end of last week as we get into our final scores for the last week of the readathon. We had the Beagles with 159 points. We had Team Flawless with 236 points. We had the Tome Raiders at 278 points, and we had the Tome Slayers at 290 points. So here's the final score go around. The illustrious Mr. Rob Hayes, will you start us off?
Okay, so yeah, the Beagles we fell asleep in the last stretch. We finished on a grand total of 167 points, which is amazing. Maybe not compared to the rest of you guys, but it's amazing that Beagles can read at all.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. Hey, the fact that the teams read, like every time we get to the end of the readathons, and I always say this, I love seeing the number of books that the teams read as a whole, because when you put everybody together and everybody's collective effort into how many reviews got turned in and how many books got read, how many indie books were read for this readathon, it's a really, really cool collective project, I think. So, and you guys were a big part of that. So pat yourselves on the back. Get some more snacks.
There we go. Hey, somebody's got to come in last, and it's us. We're okay there. It's a sleepy time in the sun. We're fine.
Did you have a final count on how many books total you guys read, Rob?
So not including the Ringer, we had a total of 71 books read.
Nice.
And we had, I think we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people, I think, read all 5 books.
Nice.
So that's pretty good going. And I think most of them turned in reviews as well. I think there are only 2 of those books read, 2 out of the 71 books that didn't have reviews posted as well.
Nice.
So there you go.
Well done, Beagles. That's awesome.
We did well.
All right, turning it over to Queen Flawless. How'd your team do, Shauna?
Okay, so we did well. So 19 out of 26 teammates finished all 5.
Wow.
Our ringers were Melissa and Kate. So thank you to them for their additional 5 books. 2 people, Cosmic Dude and Ethan, both read Words of Radiance. So some big books as well being read as some of the smaller ones. 28 books were indie.
Nice.
And did I say 125 books overall?
Wow.
Yeah. So I think we did pretty good. So our final points were 286.
Unbelievable. How many books did you say?
125.
125.
Unbelievable.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. So very, very well done to Team Flawless. Everyone did very well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done, guys. Okay. Mr. Witham.
Okay. Well, let's start where we start. We had 2 players drop out. So we only had 2 ringers be activated. Manglitter and Books and Brujo were the 2 that filled in for 2 players that dropped out.
Nice.
We had all but 2 of the books that were turned in had a review attached.
Nice.
So I'm very, very, very happy about that. We have one thing that no other team has, which is a team baby. Aspeloff gave birth unexpectedly right at the beginning of the month and was kind of out of the competition for a book. But we have a Tomb Raider baby. And Aspeloff, in the meantime, also managed to finish 2 books in the same month that she delivered an unexpected baby. So big kisses there. Thank you so very, very much. And again, my team was amazing. Zin, this is the last time you'll ever see me, because as soon as we lose to Andy's team, Zin will kill me. But damn it, we tried our best. We had 133 books read for a total of 309 points.
Wow. Cracked.
Wow,
that's pretty amazing.
Ooh.
So
I'm looking at other Andy's face to see if I think he's won or not.
Poker face.
Has he got a good poker face or not? Yeah.
Here we go. So
go for it.
According to my very impartial team captain, we read a total of 132 books.
Ooh.
I believe our review rate was 100%. 50,000 pages read between all the books. Our last review was turned in 1 minute before the deadline. That is how dedicated our team was. We have a total of 314 points with 24 of our 27 team.
26.
24 out of 26 people completing all 5 books and getting max points. Like, we were as close to maxing out points as we could be.
Congratulations! All right, Tome Slayers, well done.
Good job, everybody. I just added up everyone's book totals, and the readathon collectively, I know there's some people in the chat who just want to crush everybody else, but collectively, we read 461 books in 1 month.
Oh,
that's pretty amazing. And between everybody, I'm guessing like 70 to 80% review rate overall, probably, which is amazing. So to everybody who was involved in the readathon, who participated, who was chatting up in the team's chats, who was turning in books, and we had one person I wanted to shout out really quick that was in the chat earlier, Ray. So he had to drop out of the competition at the beginning for some personal things that happened. And he checked in with us multiple times during the month to just encourage everybody and say, hey guys, you got this. And I love how this community really the whole readathon is such a beautiful time to make friends, to encourage each other, and to see how awesome all of the bookish people are getting together and doing what they love to do. So honestly, thank you to everybody who was involved. Thank you to our wonderful captains. Everybody in the chat, give them a huge round of applause for showing up and being here for the teams and participating and just being generally awesome people.
And putting up with gigantic time shifts where we don't know what time zone we're in.
We all got here.
It's all Andy's fault. He's been spreading misinformation for UK time zone. Said, don't worry, guys, you're fine. You haven't got an extra hour. Don't worry about it.
So, Andy, if there's anything else you wanted to say before we close out.
I just want to say once again to all of our team captains, you have busy lives. You have a lot of things that you're trying to accomplish. And the fact that you're willing to take a month of your time and dedicate it to helping your teammates get these books read and speeding up what everybody is doing and helping get these indie books read, helping get these reviews in, and helping all of us have a greater level of enjoyment out of our lives thanks to your participation. I cannot thank you enough. So team captains, round of applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being amazing, amazing, amazing. And for everybody who participated, we appreciate you, and we'll see you around the